All right, boys, welcome back. Today, we're gonna be making some big moves on the LBZ Duramax because as you can see, she's still sitting on jack stands, but all that's gonna change because by the end of this video, she's gonna be rolling on all four wheels. Let's get to work.
So we're gonna be picking up right where we left off, and that is going to be with installing the rear axle onto the truck. Now, initially, I had thought maybe just grabbing the wheels and putting the wheels on and then rolling the whole thing under would work. However, the wheels are too tall to clear the frame and the leaf springs. So, second best option I can think of in the moment is grabbing this little dolly cart, putting her under the rear axle and then just pushing it under there. And then once it's under, we'll grab the floor jack and jack it up into place. Not sure how it'll go, but we'll find out. All right, so if I told you guys that was a walk in the park, I'd be lying because that was a massive pain in the ass, but it's up there. Next up, we're gonna grab the rotors and calipers and start fitting those up. I already took the time to actually rebuild these guys. So we've got brand new pins, bleeders, new pads. They're the same as the power stops there. And then we got new pistons and seals and O-rings and all. Everything's all brand new in here. So that's gonna be nice. And yeah, I'm excited to get those on. So yeah, we'll grab those guys and start fitting that up. And just like that, you guys, the truck is officially back on all four wheels. Obviously, we're gonna have to do a little bit of toe adjustment here as the wheel is a little bit kicked out, but I'll fine tune all that stuff later. For now, the calipers and the rotors and the wheels are back on. Also took the time to just run these new stainless steel braided brake lines in the front as well as in the rear. Also getting the Bilstein shocks all mounted up, so those look awesome as well. Just feels really good to have the truck back on all fours again, and also exciting that we can finally start digging into the motor and getting rid of all the things that we don't no longer want on here. So I think that's gonna be our next steps, is just digging into this guy, cleaning everything up and getting ready for powder. So I pretty much have everything torn down. Everything came apart really well, including the up bolts. Didn't snap anything, so that's always a win. Got pretty much the EGR and all the piping in there, valve covers on the ground there as well, all the bracketry, fuel lines, rails, and the turbo. Everything looks pretty good. I am going to be doing a rebuild on the turbo just because I do want to get a 360-degree thrust bearing in there. As for the injectors, there were a few that kind of look a little bit beat up. So I don't know if that's due to just the O-rings getting blown out and then all that coming up. I am going to be getting these sent away to get tested. So we'll see what the case is after that. But as for this guy, I think we're just going to do a lot of cleanup and then get everything prepped and ready to paint. And then I also got some new parts that just arrived and we're going to be sending all that stuff out for powder. Got a lot of work ahead of us. because this thing is filthy.
All right, so after countless hours of cleaning, prepping, sandblasting, everything is finally cleaned and prepped and ready. Let me show you guys a closer look.
So starting with the drive line here, you can see it looks a little cleaner than last time. I was able to get into all the nooks and crannies and make sure that it's all good to go and ready to paint. And then all the fuel system here, got all sanded down, wire wheeled, buffed, looks really good and clean. And then all the brackets and everything as well. Haven't done anything with the turbo yet, just took the cover off and blasted it for powder. Still needs the rebuild on that. Everything that's getting sent out for powder is in this box here. The injectors are coming back tomorrow from being bench tested, so I'll be able to throw those in. So the next steps are going to be laying down some paint on this girl here. Everything's prepped and ready to go. So let's get started.
All right, guys, so we got some really good news as well as some really bad news. The first good news is the engine looks absolutely sick. I love the satin black finish, looks absolutely unreal. Could not be happier with that. The bad news, on the other hand,
is we just got the injectors back and only one injector actually passed. The rest failed. You get the point, which means we need to order a brand new set of injectors. And I figured while we're doing that, we may as well pull the heads off this girl and do a full gasket replacement. We're already at this stage, so we may as well just go ahead and make sure that everything is brand new and good to go. Kind of a step forward to take 2 steps back at this point, but I figured why not just do that as the injectors were no good. So let's grab some tools and let's get to work. So we got the heads pulled and everything seems to look pretty good. There's no scarring in the cylinders. All the pistons look good on both the driver and the passenger side. I also think that the head gaskets were pretty good still because I don't see any issues, no breaches within the walls, anything like that on both of them. So now that we got the heads on the table here, I am gonna just pull out the studs. I just put them in there to keep them in order for now, but we're gonna get those sent away and get them decked. And then once we get them back, we can throw them back on the truck. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is go inside and start ordering up some parts so that we can get this guy reassembled. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.